Don't know just yet. So it says going live. I'll wait. Okay. Hi. I'm not very good with cameras. So hopefully this will record and this will be on my channel. So I don't normally like cameras. I'm a very shy person. But anyways, I just wanted to go ahead and give you my information as far as my F2-7 visa renewal here in Korea. So first of all, I only have about 1 hour. Is it 1 hour? Yeah, 1 hour before I have to go to my next class. So I'll try to put in as much information as I can in a short time frame. So I'll try my best. So first of all, I had to renew my visa. I had like 6 months left on my visa. And as you know, the October 31st chaos, everybody was freaking out. And so I knew that there was a huge risk that I may only have 1 year. And of course, like most people, I have been stalking most people's, I've been stalking most of the people's posts so that way I can get more information. So it got to that point where I had to actually go out and do it because, you know, since I had to renew in May anyways, I figured that might as well just go ahead and jump in and just go ahead and get that done. It would just be better. So anyways, I went to the Cheongno area, that immigration office. If anybody's curious, that's in Seoul. And I went ahead and I went to the office as usual. I collected all the things, all of my documents. So I brought my business license because I have a tutoring business. And then I also brought my taxes, which is extremely important. Please don't forget that. And I'll explain why in just a moment. And the third thing that I brought was also a sample contract with one of the businesses that I work with. They do need something to see that you're doing some type of work. They made a copy of it and they kept it. So I recommend that is also very useful. Passport 60,001. Oh, somebody sent me a message. Give me a second. Who is that? Oh, okay, never mind. So passport 60,001. So that's for your for the stamp that you need. So that's what that 60,001 is for. And of course, your application, which you can just fill out there at the immigration office itself. And then when it was time for me to go in, when it was my turn, I went ahead and went in to get ahead and get it renewed. Now, first of all, I want to go ahead and say everybody had been extra kind with me. It wasn't like as if somebody was in a bad mood or anything like that. It was just they were very, very gracious with me because they also understand that I was under a lot of stress. Unfortunately, I did not make that much money last year. I made like about I'll reveal it. I don't mind because that's not how much I make this year. This was last year because I was finishing a contract. I made like around 20,000, maybe less than, just slightly less than, because I was doing something part-time at the time. And so because I didn't reach their criteria, I only got 1 year. I was only able to get 1 year as far as my renewal. I did discuss with them of why, because I couldn't understand why did I only get 1 year? What was the criteria? Because as you know, according to that document that is on the Hi Korea website, they were supposed to use the old rules as far as renewal. And I was very adamant about that. I was kept stressing. It's like, why did you judge how many years I had when the document clearly stated that that the old system would be used as far as my renewal? And they didn't exactly have an exact answer for me about that situation. So I did have to call the number, the foreigner number, to be able to find more information. I will go ahead and give you that information in just a second. So I was able to only have 1 year. So please, please, please bring your tax income returns documents in. Make sure you bring that in. That is extremely important, because even if you never used that before, you will use it now for sure. Oh, and don't forget the housing contract. I'm not sure if I said that. Make sure your housing contract is up to date. So just make sure everything's up to date. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me about what I actually brought. But I think that was all I brought, was my housing contract, and also a work contract. And then I brought my business license, and then I brought my passport, and then my application, and trying to remember everything. I didn't say tax documents, didn't I? Okay, anyways, so, but I know I mentioned everything. It's just, it may be out of order. I'm really bad with cameras. I'm so sorry. The other thing is that I went ahead and was discussing with them, and it's been a while. She really worked hard. The immigration officer really worked hard to try to find some way around this rule, and she couldn't really get past it. So I was only able to be given 1 year. However, let me look at my card. I think, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. So according to, let me get it's in my coat. So according to here, the expiration date for my visa was next year in May. So she was able to extend it to 2021 of May. So it was still 1 year, but she still added that 6 months. So it was like 1 year, 6 months. And it was basically, they based it off of how much money you make. Now, you might be wondering, what is the criteria? I did a lot of investigating to try to find where is this mystical criteria that they have. So I finally found it. I went ahead and asked them their information. She didn't understand me real well, so I went ahead and called 1345. They did some investigating. So here is the criteria. There are no longer 2-year visas as far as that is concerned. It's either 1 year, 3 year, or 5. That's the only thing that they have. So in order to have 1 year, you have to make below 30 million won. Okay. Now, if you want 3 years, you have to make above 30 million won, but under 60 million won. And if you want 5 years, you have to make 60 million won or above. Now, as most people usually know, you cannot go past 5 years. So that is the max. So that is the criteria as far as how they judge how many years you have. So I have to admit, this is just me personally. It's kind of nice to have a criteria as far as how many years, so you don't have to guess anymore or try to convince them to give you the years. I don't know. That's just me. I'm that type of person, I guess. So anyways, that was that as far as that was concerned. And after that happened, yes, I was upset. And the first thing I wanted to do was just go ahead and I wanted to complain to somebody. So of course, the first place I called was the number that we all know. That's for foreigners. I went ahead and called to them, and I told them, it's like, listen, I don't care if you have to apply the rule as far as the income is concerned, but you should have at least put this in writing so it doesn't confuse everybody, including the immigration officers. And they listened to me, and they said that they were going to put it to their superiors as far as revealing this information, so that way it's not hidden away from the foreigners. And so the only answer that they gave me as far as why they didn't display this information is that they said the government doesn't display every little piece of information. And I told them, yeah, that's true, but and I understand that, but you also have to be aware that this is an important piece of information that is connected to that information that you have on there, on that piece of paper. So when you don't have it on that piece of paper, it looks like you're lying through omission. So I recommend that you put that piece of information on there so it doesn't confuse people. And they agreed with me. And so they said that they would talk to their superiors about it. Whether they do anything or not, it doesn't really matter. I'm just letting you know that's what happened. And so what I did is I called the number. I'm not going to say the number on here. I don't know why. I just don't like revealing numbers online. It makes me feel nervous. But anyways, I went ahead and asked a few questions. Something that you should know about me is that I'm actually not planning on staying the F2-7 visa. I'm planning on going into the F5 visa. That has always been my goal. So I already got a plan in place and how I'm going to be able to earn that money. So that's not the issue. The other, so I went ahead and I got a list of questions here that I asked them. Basically, I went ahead and asked them if I wanted to go to a university, will I be able to still keep the F2-7 visa? The short answer is yes. You can still keep your F2-7 visa with if you're earning for your doctorate. You just have to show that you're earning some type of income, so that way, you know, it shows on there as far as that is concerned that you do have a, you know, part-time job or something like that, which, you know, we all like to earn money anyways while we study. So just as long as you're earning some sort of income, it's okay. There is no minimum requirement. There is no minimum requirement of getting the F2-7 visa as far as the income is concerned. All it does is controls how many years you have. So if you earn just a small amount, that's okay. That's going to be totally fine. The only time it's an issue is if it's a spousal visa, as far as that is concerned. Then you have to prove your GNI. So if you still want to go to a university but keep your F2-7 visa, it's still very, very possible. You just got to, you know, find some way of earning an income during that time. The other thing that I went ahead and asked them is what happens if I couldn't get a job? For example, like what if the income, how do I say, the economy fails or something. And so they basically, what they told me, that if something were like that to happen, it doesn't necessarily really matter, just as long as you have the 80 points. That's all that matters. So if you're able to prove that you have 80 points, how much money you make doesn't matter. Like I said, the only thing that controls is how many years you have on your visa. That's the only thing it controls, according to them, according to the immigration officer, as well as the phone number. So both of it confirms. So to me, that helps. And then I already asked how many years, how do you calculate the years? And I went ahead and asked them of why. Why did they change the rules like this? Because it seems like a very, I told them this was such a sudden change. And there was such an extreme change. This was not just a minor change or something like that. So what was going on? And I got two answers from two different people. So I'll just tell you what they told me. So according to the first person that I talked to, the reason why they did it was because, according to this person now, this was from the phone number, they said that people were abusing the visa and that they, you know, like they were not going to get a job or something like that, or they wanted to do other things and not earn an income, and so they felt that they were abusing the visa, so they changed it so that way they have to prove that. And so the reason why they wanted to why they put that criteria of how many years is because they wanted to motivate people to earn more money, since that's the whole entire reason they have it anyways. And that was part of it. The other part was that its original purpose, like I said to a friend of mine, the main purpose for the F2-7 visa was originally were for foreign wives for the Korean husbands, so that way they can have a path towards the F5 visa. That's what's its original purpose, and we were just able to take part in it, at least as far as that is concerned. So, and that's what she told me. That's what she told me. I don't know how true this is, though, because when I talked to the other person and she talked to her superior, they don't have a straight answer as far as that is concerned. So I feel like as if the first person was just talking about their own theory as far as that is concerned. I did tell them why this has been so personal for us. I did tell them that the reason why this has been so personal for us, we can prove the points. We've been doing that for years. We've been working for this visa for who knows how long, and we worked so hard. We sacrificed for this visa. So proving points is not the issue. The issue that we have is the age criteria, because that's something we cannot control. And they listened, including the superior, and they said that they will take note of this and they'll make sure to go ahead and give it to the upper people as far as that is concerned. So that's all I did. And that was, it's all messed up. It's completely messed up as far as that is concerned. It does tell me, and me personally, that I do have to work towards the F5. I cannot just stay in the F2-7 anymore. I will have to work my way towards the F5. I'm glad I got a plan in place already before this all happened. And I am going to hope and pray that they will at least make an amendment for the age criteria. But as we all know, this is an age society, so there's no way to know. But anyways, that is my update as far as that is concerned. So at least now you know what the criteria is of how they calculate the years right now. They do calculate the years right now. It's not going to be next year. It is now, right now. They calculate it by if you make under 30 million. If you make under 30 million, that is 1 year. If you make above 30 million a year, that is going to be 3 years. There's no 2 years for some reason. And if it's 60 million or above, that is 5 years. So that will at least kind of help you as far as that is concerned. I hope that was useful. I don't know. I know this is hard on everybody. So I'm just letting you know that I'm thinking of you, and I'm in the same boat here. So let's just make the most of a bad situation. That's it. That's all I have. And I hope this information was useful. And if you need anything, you can just send me a message. I like answering questions, so I'll do what I can. And we'll just help each other. All right. Have a good day, guys. Sorry. Fighting. That's all I can say. Thank you for putting up with my face. I appreciate it. Have a good day.